welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to the first review show, I should say, the season. We've done the preview show on Friday. We 3 games down for decision in the Premier Division with a couple of games called off. Unfortunately, Finn Hearts and Sligo Rovers were succumbed to the weather. We'll start off, Keno, at Palace Stadium, where Shamrock Rovers had a comfortable enough 3-0 win against UCD. However, UCD missed some chances before Shamrock Rovers hit the net, and Manus made one particular great save. I think it was Kerrigan got in with 2 chances, and poor Mandrew with a beautiful header actually, and Burke finished it off. How did you see that?
Yeah, I'm disappointed you didn't start with Pats, but we'll go on to this one anyway.
I'm finishing with that one.
Now look, job well done for Shamrock Rovers. Look, I only seen highlights. I'm not paying €7 to watch Rovers play UCD. That's the reality of it. But you know, in fairness, I seen highlights, and UCD did knock the ball around well, which we know they can do.
Yeah,
they did have a couple of chances here or there, but look, Rovers ran out winners. It was comfortable, and it's the way probably everyone expected. And it's the way people probably, Rovers fans, first day of the season, like I said, they didn't play great against Pats, and there probably could have been a few nerves going in. I think they got the perfect game to start the season off with, and look, they done it well. Like, what a header, by the way. That was brilliant, I have to say, from Andrew. Like, he's hopefully for Rovers' sake and the league's sake, he picks up where he left off last season, and it certainly looks like it now. Like I says, look, UCD had the first share of the chances, but there were a few in saying that, though, like, really clear cut were few and far between. But they knocked the ball around well. They did play well in parts of the game, but look, Rovers deservedly winners. There's not really, look, it's tough because I didn't watch the game back for the whole 90 minutes, but it's tough to say anything else other than Rovers well deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, they're the type of team, Rovers, that when they score first, it really opens up for them. Obviously, 39 minutes they open the score, and then after that they create a lot of chances. Mandrew scored 45, for example, but Graham Burke came on and scored. He capitalised. I think it was Sam Todd who made a mistake, unfortunately for him, and Burke capitalised. Was just looking at some of the players that came on for Rovers in the game: Cotter, Towell, Green, Burke, and Macu. I mean, like, what do you say there?
I think firstly, Keith, though, like, yes, when Rovers score first, they do tend to go on and win. But even looking back last season, how many late goals did they have? How many late goals won games for them? So I think it doesn't really matter for them because it's got so much quality. They can, really decide when to go at a game any time, really, because they're so blessed with quality on the pitch. Interestingly, as well as touching the players, Andy Lyons started as well, which I was surprised about. Obviously he's a good player for him, and he was someone I really liked at Bowes. Now, disappointing for me to see him start for Shamrock Rovers. That's the reality of it. He's gone there, but he played the game for them anyway, and he got in. But yeah, their bench is absolute serious quality. I suppose the only thing Rovers is potentially missing is a backup keeper. You could say maybe Manus is 39-40. If he picks up an injury, I think that could be an area of concern for them. If you're going to pick their squad, that's the only really place you'd probably go at. As well, another thing Rovers thing too is, different players score the goals. Again, different players made up the goals. Again, so I think it was Bradley came out and said that something that he always was questioned about: why do you not have an out-and-out striker scoring 20 goals a season? And I believe the response was, we got players scoring all on the pitch, 10 goals all on the pitch, which is true. And I think we're going to see another season of that from Shamrock Rovers, of just quality attacking, quality defending, not really conceding much, making things happen, dictate the play. I thought Alan Mann actually had a good game of goals too. He did keep UCD out. I think he threw at him. He dealt with it very well, I thought, as well. And that'll be important, a confident start for them, a clean sheet, a good few goals. Jack Byrne getting amongst the assists again, putting a good few balls in, treading balls through. So it's all looking good for them already to start the season. In terms of UCD, I think they did make chances. I think it was another team potentially would have scored. As against Shamrock Rovers, they probably were going to get beat going into it. I think they did themselves, I think they played as good as they were going to play, and they should hold their head up high and go on to the next game now and try and get something from it.
Yeah, Laura Parkovich Dundalk 2, Derry City 2, Keno. Extensive highlights in this one. Looked a really, really good game, to be fair. Lovely goal by Bradley, actually, double score for Dundalk. Thompson equalised after fabulous work from McGonigal. Connolly then scored a header from a corner, and McGonigal did score 78 himself, but he missed a gilt-edged chance at 5 minutes to go to win it when he rattled the crossbar, unfortunately for him. But Dundalk in the highlights, anyway. Dundalk looked like they'd be more disappointed in general not to have won the game, despite that chance at the end. Derry equalised obviously twice, and it looked like that Dundalk were doing more of the pressing throughout most of the game, didn't it?
Yeah, look, really good game. I looked at anyway. The highlights were really good as well, which I was happy with. Maybe because that was such a good game, that's why there were so many highlights type of thing. But it was excellent. By the way, just on the highlights, it's great. By the way, that they have a show now on a Monday night, and hopefully you can watch that throughout the week. Like that'll be on it. I'd say I can't say it just because I'd say that'll be saved, which is good. And it reminds me of Monday Night Soccer. I remember old M&S back in the day. But that I don't know. I went short.
No, that was useless. If anyone's watching, sorry, but that was useless.
M&S was great with Con and all them. I thought they were the great days for the old telly. But Roddy Collins in his pinstripe suit and all, they were the days.
Dave Barry.
Yeah, Barry. Who else? You had Tunes Prunty and all, and who else? There a couple of
Richardson.
Johnny Mack.
Damien Richardson was on it, wasn't he? Yeah, he was on it. John McDonald, of course.
Brian Kerr, the good old Brian Kerr was on it.
He was on it occasionally as well. Yeah.
That was a brilliant show, and look, I don't think we're going to get anything like that, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like on Monday night anyway. But going back to the game. Excellent, great advert for the game. Look, I probably wouldn't have went ahead, but I was saying if they showed this on the Saturday night and even showed Bowes on the Sunday type of thing.
Oh yeah, in theory, if the weather that they have it,
and really showcased the first weekend of the season. I think it would have been fantastic to spread it out over 3 days. With Pats on Friday or whatever way they wanted to work it. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But I just think it would have been really good to break this out over the weekend, because I'd say a lot of people would have liked to watch this game, and they were probably at their own games, or they were probably watching some Shells on the telly or whatever it was. But the game was end to end. It looked it anyway. It was relentless from minute one, and Dundalk were really aggressive in their press. They were really going for it. They wanted. They smelled blood out there. That's what it was like, and they were just after them from minute one. What a finish as well with the first goal, and I think a draw was probably a fair result in the whole game. But people will say Dundalk could be disappointed. I'd say Derry would be fuming. Like I'm missing. Equalising twice, and then that chance right at the end was, and that's it then. But what an atmosphere as well in Oriel. The place was rocking. It looks Stevie there. That's who they wanted. That's the man they want there. He's there now. The fans have what they want type of thing. So everyone's pulling in the right direction. It really felt like that. It was like a carnival atmosphere type of game, wasn't it?
It was.
To be honest with you, I don't think them crowds are going to go away anytime soon, and it's great to see. Like I said, I commend the Dundalk fans last year for sticking with the team through all the shit that happened. But, now this year, like I said, they've everything back now. Everything's pulling in the same direction. Stevie and stuff like that. And you can see the support that he's getting, and, he's going to definitely get back in from the board because, that's his man. That's who he wanted. So, it all ended up in a good way on Friday night. I'd say Derry would be more fuming though than Dundalk, because Derry took their chances and got back into the game twice, and then you have a chance to nick it right at the end. And for Derry's aspirations early on in the season of what people are tipping them, you need to be putting them chances away if you don't want to be up there. That's what Shamrock Rovers does, and we'll get on the Pats and stuff, but you see how clinical they were. And, if these are the chances that you need to be putting away, these are the ones that you need to be winning and getting out of there, and even saying, geez, we got lucky there, but you're still going up the road with 3 points. But look, nothing's going to be won and lost at the opening day. I think Derry will be happy, fair enough happy, I think, especially being behind twice. Obviously, a little bit disappointed, but I think a draw, I think I said a draw, I'm not sure, but, I said a draw would probably be the result that, both teams are kind of fairly content with, and, they'll pull into next week now.
I suppose, well, Dad, from Derry's point of view, they're missing Duffy, Smith, and Boyce, but particularly the top two, Smith and Duffy. So you'd like to think, if they're fit well, that gives them an extra bit of firepower. And despite McGonigal missing that chance at the end, he was very good in the game as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, he had a very good game. I thought for him, he hit the ground running, and that's exactly what you want from a player. The first game of the season, going in and really getting down to business and making things happen and putting a few goals away, getting into form, confidence starts building. That's exactly what you want. And just to add to Keano's points there, about Derry saying they'd be going away fuming, I'd be thinking to myself, will they be though? 2 goals behind twice and came back. I think that's successful, coming back from being 2 down. It's not great going 2 down, obviously. They have huge aspirations this season. They've got huge pressure. They've had huge investment, and they brought a lot of fans down to Oriel as well, which is great to see. It looked like they had a great atmosphere there, but I know they missed a chance at the end, but they were 2 goals down in some stages, and they came back, and I think that's hard to do for any team, and they came back and they showed a lot of character and fight in the team, and I think that's what you want as well going forward too, and that's something that I think they brought that night to the game. They brought character, they brought fight. They didn't stay down. They went back at Dundalk and they kept going at them, and they got their goals back. And yes, there was a bit of sloppy defending. Yes, there was a few mistakes, but they made it happen. They put the pressure on, and Dundalk kind of flopped a little bit underneath that pressure that they put on them. And as I said, coming back each time, 2 goals, brilliant. I think they'll be going back to very happy with the points, but nervy, thinking they need to go back, with more wins than draws. They need to get wins if really want to challenge for Europe. But I think as I said, coming back with a draw is a good result for Derry. I think Dundalk, on the other hand, new beginnings, a new team, that a big clear out. They got rid of a lot of, shall we say, maybe not so good Dundalk characters in that dressing room, and
9 new players in that starting 11. 9 new players in that starting 11.
Huge.
So they'll be happy with that start as such for that reason, I think, too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Turning around the squad with 9 new players, I'd know better than anyone with Bows having a new team every single season. It's not easy as a fan. It's certainly not easy in the team.
They don't even do that, surely.
Yeah, But look, fair play to Derry for coming back, and brilliant to see. And like said, a great average for the league. I thought it was a very positive game to look at as a fan of the league. And, as fans looking at that, they'd be thinking both of them should be defending better, and I'm sure I'll be working on that. But yeah, it was a great game overall, I thought.
Yeah, now Talca Park, you're waiting for this one. Shelbourne 0, St Patrick's Athletic 3. Again, a brilliant atmosphere here. Over 4,000 people at Talca Park. Oh, by the way, nearly 5.5 at Tallaght Stadium for Shamrock Rovers and UCD, and 3.5 at Dundalk and Derry. Great atmosphere as well. As Keano says as well, I don't see those crowds really going down anytime soon. So that's fantastic as well, by the way. But in this game, Burns obviously scored an unbelievable goal after 20 minutes. Shelbourne gave the ball away very poorly, to be honest, to give a ball square in the middle of the park. But Burns had a lot to do after that. He turned 2 defenders inside out and found the top corner. It's like one of those FIFA finesse shots you see. Mark Doyle then scored after 57. You could argue the keeper should have done better. I'd agree with that, but Doyle had a lot to do to get into that position. He was very bright, very alive, and took on the Shelbourne defence. Very direct, Doyle, and obviously fired home. And Jay McClellan finished actually very well when he came on to a Mark Doyle cross as well. Interesting night for Damien Duffkeen on his his first game at Talca Park as manager. How did you see it overall?
Look, I love beating Shells, and it's that team on the ground up, that's how it was, it wasn't Bows, it wasn't Rovers, it wasn't anyone, it was Shells. That was the game that I looked out for every year when I was small and I was grown. I was lucky I was grown up as a really young kid, and I was grown into this rivalry in terms of all these players, and it was right at the peak. It was in around the time the league was taking off Pats, and so the rivalry was right at its peak, and I really loved that because I was brought up like the way a Bows fan would be with Rovers and vice versa and stuff, so I love beating Shells. It's always that little bit sweet for me.
I
It's
think,
probably
sorry to cut across quickly, I think people forget how big a rivalry this is. The fact that, honestly, Shelbourne haven't been in the league really that often the last 10 years, that the rivalry has definitely suffered because of that. But that rivalry, it does rival Shamrock Rovers and Bows when it really gets going, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, when the two teams are right up there, and I think we'll probably see that in a number in probably. Look, I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but I'd say in another couple of seasons we probably will see that rivalry come on back and it being a real battle again. And it's good. Look, the crowds, the atmosphere was amazing. I still look. I'm probably a little bit greedy here, but I thought more people could have fitted into that ground last night. They did say it was sold out very early on, and it didn't really look at there was gaps around the place, So I probably would have said, they probably could have sold them for 100 to 200. But look, the crowds was amazing. I'm not going to complain. It was electric. 1 minute on the clock, Shell score, and everyone's kind of shitting a little bit behind the goal.
To be fair, they did start off very well, Keane, and Pats did look a bit unsure of themselves.
That's what you're going to have to do in these games. You're going to have to weather the storms. Teams are going to have a go with you. And, Shells are at home. I think Pats probably could have made the game a little bit more boring early on. It's like, look, as a fan, you never want to say that, but as a coach myself, that's what I want. I want my team to be bored and just, to be, going through the game and just trying to calm it a little bit. Like it was a little bit hectic, especially early on in the game.
I expected that from Shelbourne in the first 20 minutes. And I did say to someone, if Pats could weather the storm here, they could, click into gear. And as you say, they did weather the storm.
Yeah, we weathered it well. We got a lucky break. Look, pass into Derry, and look, I say a lucky break. He made it all himself. He dropped the shoulder when he cuts in off that left. You may as well just start celebrating because it's going to go in, and what a strike, and worthy of winning any game. I know we didn't win it with that goal, but it's worthy of winning any game, and it was a real deep breath taken there when we scored because Shells were on top for that early part of the game, and then it was kind of 50-50 a little bit. I genuinely believe that. Look, I'm not going to say we got a bit of luck for the second goal because it was a high press. We beat them. We counter-attacked them. We got the press. We won the ball. Mark Doyle had to skip past two of them. And look, I went in brilliant. And I genuinely believe that we had to get that second goal. And even when we had that second goal, I don't know what was on, about 60 odd minutes, wasn't it? 68 minutes in and around that.
Yeah, Shelbourne got a spell. Yeah, they got a spell where they looked a little bit dangerous. I think Moylan had a shot where he blazed over. That was a good chance where he got through. And Ang made a good acrobatic save as well. There were a couple of little bits, weren't there? And you felt if Shelbourne got a goal back then, it's kind of, all hands on the deck type job.
Yeah,
but they just couldn't find that breakthrough,
No, and I thought him doing really well in substitutions, obviously, look, bringing in, taking Billy off and then Adam coming on, and, he brought on some really good players, and obviously Scott going off and Gravosti and stuff coming in. I thought we doing really well in terms of them subs, and I thought we managed the game excellent when we went through up. Look, if the third went in, we kind of ripped the piss a little bit, I thought, in terms of, Forrester with his little, he just drilled one, didn't he, off the post, and then his little chip.
The little chip. Yeah.
The little chip would have done it for me if that scored, and you seen the nutmeg in the opposition box as well,
Now, what did you make of Shelbourne overall, actually, obviously from a neutral perspective and watching it in that sense? What did you think of the way they set up and the way they played overall?
Yeah, firstly, I think Keane almost had some of my scripts there. He hit the nail on the head there with everything he said.
You have a script?
Shelbourne tried, to play out a bit too much. I think they got caught out a few times. The goalie put out a play a few times. That mightn't have happened if they tried to just go, and I'm not even saying go long, just not play out every single time. I know that's how Damien Duff wants to play. That's his philosophy. That's what he believes in. That's what he wants to do. But I think at times you're kind of setting yourself up to concede goals if you keep doing it, and the team you're playing against are pressing high from their forwards, and the wingers are inverted and they're coming in, and they're not really pushing play to one side. They're just going at the ball and they're forcing you to make a decision. There's no point in passing the defender and then going long straight away. You're putting your outfield players under pressure. I think if you'd be better off just hit a winger. Sometimes, not all the time, but I just think they overplayed it a bit too much. And we've seen loads of goals at every level conceded from overplaying. And I think in this modern day in football, there's a big emphasis on the right way to play, and the playing out from the back, and that should be the only way to play. I don't believe in that's the only way to play. I think at times, if you're under a lot of pressure, do something different. Put Pats under pressure, and go a bit longer if you have to. You don't always have to play out. And they got out a few times. There could have easily been another goal or two to Pats, and you're looking at a 5-0, 4-0 game. Then I just think they could have done that a bit differently. I think if Damien Duff keeps trying to make them play that way, I think they will get caught out against the likes of Rovers or someone else as well. And they're going to concede goals. Probably wouldn't concede if they can go like that.
Funny you should mention that, Dads, actually. Sorry, funny you should mention that, because Pats would do the same, but with Pats I noticed Tim Clancy gave an instruction to change it actually after a while as well, which was smart at the time, because there was a phase in the game where they looked like they might get caught as well, but immediately Clancy just went, look lads, we're going long for a little while. You're right.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that Damien Duff won't make that call. I think he wants to be known as the coach that plays out, and that's it. And, going to be entertaining, or going to lose 4-3 and nick a game 1-0 from going long. And that's not something I believe in now. I don't buy into that. I think you should win at all costs, no matter how you play it. Ugly, bad, who cares? Get the win, get the 3 points, get the draw. It's a results-based game. Get the win, get the draw. But I think looking at some of Shell's players, firstly, hope Shane's injury is not too bad. Good player. I hope he gets back into the team. It's never nice for any player to go injured, especially in the first game. Back, you don't like to see that for anyone. So, hopefully he gets back soon. Shells have had so many new players come into this team. I think there's something like 17, 18 new players in the team. Only 2 remained in that starting team than what they had last season, I believe, too. So it's quite a change for this level as well. Hopefully they're not setting themselves up for disaster. I don't think so. They were the first team back to train this season. They're obviously very fit. They obviously know how they're playing together. They're well tuned in. And look, they did make chances. They did go at Pats. They did have shots. I think, Pat's keeper, Annan, am I saying that right?
Joey Annan.
Annan, yeah.
And I actually think he had a good game. I didn't think he was that bad. And I don't think you'd be right to put Adamusu straight into goals now after that performance. I think he kind of, as Keno said, hushed a few people. He didn't really do anything wrong. I wouldn't be shipping him out straight away anyway. I thought he actually made a lot of smart saves, and I thought he held the ball well when he had to, and I thought he was brave. He's a very young keeper. But Adamusu, for me, obviously, is one of the better keepers in the league, and he was signed probably to be number 1. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Mylan, the player, obviously, that we lost to Bowes, I was very disappointed about. I thought he had a very good game. I thought he was very lively. His feet were very good. He was very technical. The ball stuck to him. He just went at Pats. He had any opportunity, he kind of passed forward. He ran forward. He held on possession well. He shot when he could. I'm going to miss that player. It's one that I don't think Bowes should let go at all. And obviously, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. One of many, but look, it happens every season. I have to just let it go.
Are you disappointed Jack Moylan left Bowles for Shelbourne?
Yeah, but Shells have got very.
Give us two sentences on Andy Lyons.
We've had Moylan, we've had Lyons, we've had someone else next week.
Breslin as well. Let me tell you, it's a lot of players that we lost and disappointed about, but that's reality of being a Bowes fan. It's going to happen every season, but. Look, Moylan's a very good player, and best of luck to him with Shelbourne. A very good game too, and I think Shelbourne. I think the aim for this season should be to stay up. A lot of people are thinking mid-table. I don't think so. I think staying up around the 7th, 6th would be a very healthy position for them next season going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, guys, we'll leave it there. Guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit your bell notification button and like the video if you enjoyed the content. Thanks again.